A very good morning to all the distinguished dignitaries, respected speakers, delegates, researchers, and dear participants. A smile is a universal welcome. With this thought, I extend a warm and cordial welcome to everyone gathered here today. It is a privilege to welcome you all to the fourth International Conference on Inventive Computing and Informatics ICICI 2026, organized by CA College of Engineering and Technology, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. It is my honor to invite the General Chair and distinguished leader for this conference. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Hastimal Janjit, co-founder of Cosmo Digital Solutions and head of Cloud Engineering Automation. Mr. Hastimal is a visionary technology leader who spearheads the architecture and automation strategy behind Cosmos AI powered digital marketing ecosystem designed for small and medium sized businesses. He engineered RankRabbit.ai, the company's proprietary AI driven growth platform, which achieved remarkable success by scaling to significant annual revenue within its first year of operation. His work integrates agentic AI, intelligent automation, multi LLM orchestration, and real time data intelligence to help businesses enhance their visibility across traditional search engines as well as emerging AI powered discovery platforms such as ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini. In addition to developing innovative AI solutions, he has played a pivotal role in defining the enterprise cloud strategies and automation frameworks that support a comprehensive suite of AI driven visibility and reputation management products. His expertise spans cloud engineering, automation, artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and scalable technology infrastructure. We are truly honored to have such a distinguished expert with us today and eagerly look forward to gain insights from his vast experience and innovative contributions to the field of AI. Sir, we kindly request you to deliver your keynote address.
Thank you so much. um, um, Hello, everybody. This is Astimal. I run I run a company called Cosmo, and we have a SaaS-based solution, RankRabbit. I'm happy to delight what technology tech stack we have been using and how we are leveraging AI to help small to medium business owners. Can I share my screen? Give me one sec. Perfect. I'm going to discuss a little bit about how we have changed our human way of searching, way of doing operational activity on search, media, social, everywhere in internet, from humanic humanic way to agentic ways. Um, we as a small company, we grown in a way that, hey, how small to medium businesses could get benefit from us. Everybody is, ma'am, can you check? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible. It's clear.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. And can you see my screen too?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. So I come from data, cloud, and AI background. I myself done a lot of work on data and cloud, came into agentic way of doing it. Recently started exploring since last 3 years into AI and Gen AI completely, how AI can leverage activities that we do on every day, plus how can it help more of the users' ability to go and do on behalf of person. So any of the websites that scroll on internet on Google, can AI help getting better results to any user who is taking it? So in general, we solve the problem as a holistic way in our software called RankRabbit. We manage their visibility on search, AI, AI search, ChatGPT, modern technology-based search engines. How are they being visible on socials? Whether they are being recommended from social to search or not, or are the businesses getting good reputation in terms of social listening? Are people talking about good things for those businesses in social listening or not? Or terms of could be a business is getting really good listed on listings. Could be Google Map, could be some other listings, say an example as Yelp. So we solve this problem with help of AI, LLMs. We build our technology proprietary solution on the top of major LLM models, and successfully building this as a whole agentic way of doing is helping customers in an appropriate way where they are looking for solution. Um, Having said that, um, let's take a little back how we used to solve this problem. Say we are looking for a term in internet in Google. Um, we try to see, say an example, I just Googled how to publish an IEEE paper. I get on the top a lot of Reddit link, IEEE links, Quora links, some AI overview as well, on the top, which is recommended uh, by Google. So this is technically coming not only from one signal, it's coming with multiple signals. If we look at the Google's paper itself, it gives us really nice idea about how LLMs is increasing our visibility. We call it as Search 2.0. It's a really advanced version which how we use to search. I will take a little bit in the next slide, but in general, from the paper perspective, you read this Google's research paper, you can pretty much understand that hey, these data, these results are not only coming from one factor, it's coming from multiple factors, but there are signals associated with one line of line of vector to the other line of vectors. So each signals, those signals create a gray line between those two signals and create as a boundary, and which is getting represented to a user. So whenever we search, a lot of websites get crawled and they get recommended based on the queries. Earlier, some time back, since the search evolved, um, search is getting evolved a lot. How we used to search, say, an example, 5 years back versus now has been changed. The way of doing got improved just with the not with the LLMs, with the agentic as well, completely. Initially, when we used to search in internet, it comes as a top 10 blue lines, and we click on those blue lines. No more now blue lines, because AI overview is killing those blue lines and giving really nice recommendation to users. Taking all the data and creating a synthetic knowledge graph behind the scene, which is converting as a recommended from AI overview. That's the paper says about is the new way of searching. Generally speaking, this is got evolved a lot, but down the line, we see as a huge opportunity for agents to get trained, whether the agents are going to book our flights, are agents going to book our meetings or something, daily activities. Yes. So those agents are going to cover um, do a lot of activities down the line. That's the most of the papers or most of the talk is coming. We have seen is we have trained our agents in a way that it automatically does your job in terms of capabilities of any business, putting into search, putting into social, putting into everywhere wherever possible. This is generally speaking the trend of AI is coming. And if we consider where we stand today, no more as a search in internet coming from intent. It's more now coming on semantic. If I'm looking out for a pizza um, or a food, then automatically AI is listening and getting giving us recommendation. So most of the semantics are converting queries and giving us answers. This search is evolving a lot, as I said. Not only one change, but have been changing as we go, getting updated in the latest models. If we take a little bit back, not only the search in Google, but if we consider some of the papers from Meta, there are really two good papers on Meta sites talking about how LLMs are getting getting recommendation, giving recommendation to users, not only from search perspective, could be say an example. If we consider in Meta AI how we search, used to search, if we today go to Instagram and search anything, it comes as a Google search on the top. So um, the search evolved, whether it's a Meta, ChatGPT, Perplexity, whatever the LLMs model we take. Search evolved a lot, getting evolved as well. So the way of thinking is not only limited to search as a Google, but it's going beyond Google in terms of wherever RAGs are possible, wherever LLMs are possible. Considering the same, why the classic way of search is falling behind versus the agentic way of doing is getting more evolved. The short answer is because the user doesn't want to now read properly all the answers. We want to get the synthesized or very summarized way of doing it. Even today's world, we take the whole blog and we most of the companies, even in their website or wherever they show the portfolio, they have written something called Summarize with AI. So when you click a button, it gives the summary of it. Same fashion, even today, where we see big article, we try to see what's the keynotes of it, what's the summary of it. We try to give this whole blog or piece of content to any of the agents wherever possible, any of the AI tool, and we get the summary of it. So users are expecting direct answer, very short, summarized way of it doing. That's why most of the old-fashioned page ranking algorithms are behind the scene, really good, working as expected. But on those existing data, existing search, there has been a wrapper now. Wrapper is keep evolving, but wrapper is generally speaking giving answers in very short as users are looking for. This is a really nice, um, uh, algorithm based. A paper came from Google um, research, which gives us how LLMs or AI answers are giving us short, summarized way of doing it. Whenever a user is trying to search a query, behind the scene, it creates the subquery. It's we in technical word called fanouts. It generally gives the fanouts where when I'm searching for best solar panels in residential home, for an example, in Arizona, it not only search for this query, but behind the scene, it search a lot of things. So let's say first to an example, best solar. So it it goes on behind the scene and give us top rated solar residential companies or brands which are in 2026 or 2025. Those answer it gives in one task. Next task it gives, say I'm looking for residential, so it could give like high heat climates efficiency based solar panel. So it creates a multiple task behind the scene, and those are very quickly retrievable within you know, within their time range, and all those ends are quickly segregated into the piece which we are looking for. This is paper published by Google, um, Google's research, and then they gave a couple of examples in their project. But more or less each query, when we try to search, it gives us give behind the scene, it converts into subqueries and then gives us a summarized view. Most of the things now are relying on AI search perspective. So fan out is playing the critical role in this whole mechanism, whole search industry. We in our company, we have built the same fashion, similar way of doing in terms of search in our product rank rabbit. We try to give the fan out in a three multiple ways, so people can try to select which way they are looking for, and then those query we retrieve based on what users are searching, and we give output to the business owners. In that way, we try to maintain how users are behaving behind the scene and what query is being searched in AI search engines. We try to monitor those queries, write those answer in our website, and that's how one of the way of ranking we follow. So modern way of doing search is training LLMs. Getting the better answers from LLMs is technically giving really right knowledge graph to LLMs. The knowledge graph could be having excellent page content, excellent authority outside your website, outside your world. People should be talking about good thing about your organization or your your domain which you're looking for. C group, as an example, if I Google today or if I search anything, if C group is doing a nice job, it will automatically get recommended. And that's how the AIs are picking from one user experience to other user experience. So if 10, 20 people are recommending those things nicely, then AI LLMs, all agentic agentic data, these are getting collected together, and that's how one signal communicate with other, and this is how they get recommended to the end user. Um, Query fanout is excellent, and that's the way how a page is converted into small pieces, and then that piece is rendered to the users. Um, any of the You might have heard the name called entity search. So, for example, if I'm searching for any paper, how do I code programmatically in C++ or so, for an example. It will give me Stack Overflow. It should be giving me some of the papers, some of the community driven. So not only one coming from say a website called Khan Academy and giving me answer. It's gonna give us holistic way of doing, hey, what people are talking about some websites, also how the stack or Git is coming, some of the topic which communicated internally from from one community to another community. In any of the communities, say example Reddit, what people are talking about C++, it's gonna give us recommendation of that. So generally, any of the search how it used to in the past is no more working in the way how it was working. Now it's more reliant on entity, and each entity is considering multiple factors. So I would personally, what we have seen is the answer which we used to get in the past. Now we are getting better answers, better user experience when a person is searching anything on internet. We help businesses go better in terms of ranking when they search on internet. We build the entity for any of the company, any of the service, any of the product, multiple entities within a page or within a domain, and those entity we get those ranked in Google or in any of the LLMs better. Um, and generally speaking, there are multiple LLMs. AI overview, Google is one, which is the majority um, in terms of AI search, in terms of search hole. That's the majority of stack. Then ChatGPT, others are coming, right? So um, every everybody has every single LLM has their own way of taking. Um, uh, Claude, probably, there are research has been published. It takes from Brave, some other places where, Grok takes some data from Twitter, X. There are some Bing, Copilot, LLMs. Those are taking data from Bing search or high authority websites. There are multiple theories, multiple studies published online. And generally speaking, for any of the AI's overviews, Gemini, VC, ranking has been changed based on the user experience. Most of the users, if I'm searching today 10, 20 websites and I like it, then user experience is, say, Google is pretending or assuming those experience are better and giving us better recommendation to any other user who is taking. So it's coming not only from the ranking perspective, content perspective, how the fresh content is. It also comes from the user experience perspective. Google overview is one of the is still leading close to 60% of their search, which we see. And then this is more of like more other, for example, socials or other LLMs are creating as a checklist, which is giving us, if a user is searching some queries, it's giving the final output as a checklist. So we generally have seen that ranking has been changing differently in the past, but LLMs are working as per their model, how it is trained. So each LLM is giving different answers, how it, based on what the data is fed to those LLMs. Um, if still, say an example, a website was ranking really nice 5 years back, today they are still ranking how it was ranking, but there are other factors. If a user is searching some commercial queries, then it might be not ranking how it was ranking in the past. Versus today, if the user is searching some informational query, it might not be ranking or might be ranking. So those intent of the user got website post into position 1 versus position 5 now. So that's how we call intent based search. So those are there are multiple factors, I would say, which are creating any of the search engine, either AI powered versus traditional. Those search engine are highly inclined toward based on intent of the user. Some recently I've seen Stack Overflow, Quora, Reddit played a lot role in terms of how the search got evolved. If we search anything today, if it's a review related trust pilot, or there are some website which are coming on the top giving us recommendation, hey, this business versus this service is nice. Um, so those community based content played now more role rather than putting any content on the website. These communities played a lot more role to put better results on AI or AI overviews. Those not only this, some press releases, some media articles. Say example, we have really good today article came on TechCrunch, and then tomorrow we are searching anything. TechCrunch article, if it's technical related search, it will get better recommended on the search engine. So because of the TechCrunch or some of the Forbes or some trustworthy websites. So not only communities, there are other areas where we see that most of the content which is highly recommended by those authority websites are 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 generally placed on the top in the search. So These search signals, search authorities played now really drastical, they made the drastical change in the search, and that's technically good benefit for any of the user who is searching for. If we look at one of the paper published recently, how AI overviews are are consisting, how answers in the AI overviews are consistent with some of the media. For example, when you search, there are multiple medias, whether it's the content is coming from shared media from somebody, or either is it paid media if we pay, for example, Google ads or Reddit ads, and that's called paid media. Whether we owned it or we earned it, for example, if we have some content in our in third party blogs, so and other user is writing about us, that's we earn that reputation. So multiple ways of putting those content, whether somebody else put or we put it, if we put it, we are owning that. If somebody else is putting those content, we call it as earned media. So based on what kind of media we have, all those segregate in single umbrella, and then user is getting the data from that umbrella. Say example, if I search anything today, um, Instagram, LinkedIn, those answers are coming on the top two. The AI is pulling data from social media, from LinkedIn, from third party Quora websites, and giving us answer on the top. This AI overview is not only listening one signal, this is listening multiple signals from GenAI's core algorithm perspective, and those multiple signals based on what the other person liking it or not, based on user experience from other similar search, it randomize those and give us the output based on what we are looking for. So intent plus semantic plus other person's output, all those combined together and give us the excellent Gen AI based results, which a user is looking as a high summary. Um, Not only, the shift that we just saw here in this example, that hey, search is not only coming from search perspective, it's coming from social and other third party website perspective. So the shift has been, we have seen a lot. YouTube Shorts or TikTok Shorts are playing a lot better roles, recommending users suggest short videos, short content. And from content perspective, you want to see now content very short. Similar way, from video perspective, you want to see short videos. So short videos are coming on top in the search result. Similar fashion, for example, we have GIF or called GIFs, right? Those are coming on the top as considered as a short video. So most of the content which is recommended in internet um, as a short video, short content, summarize keywords, keynotes, or top abstract of the paper, as an example, are getting pulled in the search better compared to the long form content. So visibility from discovery till buying. For example, if people are searching in Google, they go to Instagram or some social media, try to see whether the business is legit or not, take a decision over there, then again go to website, buy over there. So there are multiple factors now involved when a search is happening versus a buying is happening in whole internet. In the past, it was not just one service getting recommended and you just buy it. Now there are multiple checks, even social has a check coming whether the business is nice or legit or not. So so AI visibility is taking more signals from multiple factors, and that factors are playing critical role when a Gen AI is giving answer to the users. Say example, even in Google Map, we have recently seen Ask Maps new feature came. Um, in Google Maps. I'm not sure in India, but in US, it's heavily relying and getting more popular. Um, we get what we generally search in search engine I mean in Google Maps locally, we pretty much can get now from AskPass. So again, coming at Gen AI, what was the Google Map is giving a recommendation to users. Those all are segregated in one bucket and giving answer to users. Reputation signals, an example, how the good reviews are in Google Map, how the good reviews are in even Yelp or some Trustpilot or third-party websites, could be Nextdoor or some other website which generally home services are. All those comes as segregated to Google and give a reputation signal, and those signals are giving better outcomes to users when they are searching for. So AI's Gen AI LLMs all the core goal here is technically giving short, summarized, synthetic way of answering any of the query to users. We call term as a GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, and recently Google announced that AEO, Answer Engine Optimization, is same as GEO. What does it mean when somebody is searching anything in internet on the top and AI recommends it, and we do follow-up questions, then that's called answer engine optimization. So now behind the scene, generative engine optimization, which is search engine coming, search queries coming in the search, AI search, is similar to how the answer is being answered by any of the LLMs. Um, it relies on multiple factors, how the content is, how the authority is of the page, how the community is talking about you or your product or services. It relies on multiple factors, um, but not only, as I said, multiple factors, but it based on which LLM you are giving answer to. For example, as I said, if it's if we want to rank in Claude, then we have to make sure that we are ranking better in Brave browser, a Brave search. I mean, so based on what LLM we are coming, similar to that, it can pull up the structured data and then give the answer. So in short, make sure we are available on each and every signal. Make sure we are doing great job on each and every signal to ensure that we come on each and every LLM when somebody is searching for. Agentic way of doing is now, as I said, book a hotel, book a flight, based on what we are, what my previous history is, for an example, in terms of flight. All those agentic way of doing is evolving. We internally have leveraging agentic marketing, how agents are doing your job instead of you do the job. We have done successfully in terms of deploying and working those as POC level. Now we are enhancing that, ensuring that it applies to each and every service or every sector. Considering what I just talked, we have we have done excellent job in terms of managing our reputation in AI, managing reputation in social search wherever possible. But on other hand, if we look, there are each and every sector. For example, find a conference table for us or book a dining table or restaurants. There are agents now doing the job instead of you do the job. So that's the same idea that we are leveraging as well. There could be multiple risk factors involved when we use edge and AI. Hallucination is one of the factors that most of the internet is flooded with. Um, some of the fake reviews, user generated content is there. So again, it's AI doing job on behalf of you. So you have to be ensuring that your model of the program or the way that you are doing is getting updated as you go. So based on yesterday, some hiccups or problems, we have to enhance that today. And that's what we have been doing is, and these are open challenges. These challenges will be there for sure till we, mature AI products as much as humans should be looking. I have attached some of the papers which I was showing in slide deck. I should be providing those um, as well. And there are multiple sectors, multiple research happening in Gen AI, especially happy to collaborate if somebody looking for or ask me question if something is which we can help. HVC future is not only just indexing on web, it's more getting the data from each and every component, every signal. And that's how most of the trust is built in terms of when somebody is searching in AI or somebody looking at recommendation in LLMs or ChatGPT. Um, any questions so far? Happy to answer that. Over to you, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. It's audible.
All right. Thank you. Happy to answer any of the questions if somebody has.
Yes. So,
Yep.
from the participant side, if you have any queries or if you have any doubts, you can post in the query box or else you can unmute and interact. We can have this as a more interactive session. I invite all the participants to engage, unmute, and ask some questions or any queries, your suggestions, whatever. From the participant side,
I take as no. Please go ahead. Somebody was typing me personally.
yeah. So I think there is no queries now. Thank you, sir. As we come to the conclusion of this keynote session of Fourth International Conference on Innovative Computing and Informatics, it is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this keynote session. First and foremost, I express our sincere gratitude to our esteemed keynote speaker, Mr. Hastimul Janjit, sir, co-founder of Cosmo Digital Solutions and head of Cloud Engineering and Automation, for sharing his valuable knowledge, experiences, and insights on emerging technologies and artificial intelligence. Your inspiring address has enriched our understanding and also motivated us to explore new directions in research and innovation. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the management of SCA Education Trust and SCA College of Engineering and Technology, Bangalore, for their unwavering support, encouragement, and commitment towards organizing this session. My sincere appreciation also goes to our General Chair, Conference Chair, and all the organizing committee members for their dedicated efforts in planning and successfully conducting this event. Special thanks to all our reviewers and publishing partners. Thank you, sir. I thank everyone. I thank each and every participants.
I now request our esteemed dignitaries to kindly grace the dais. token of our gratitude and appreciation.
So, morning, fourth international conference on inventing computing and capabilities at the IT Council. Mute करो. I am honored to present the conference report of the 4th International Conference on Inventive Computing and Informatics, ICICI 2026, IEEE Conference Record 68773, so which will be held from 10th to 12th June 2026 at our esteemed institute, SCA College of Engineering and Technology, Bangalore, Karnataka, India. This prestigious international conference, sponsored by IEEE Systems Council, serves as a global platform for researchers, academicians, industry professionals, scientists, and practitioners to present the innovative ideas, research findings, and so on. The papers will be in the field of computing, informatics, AI, and sustainable technologies. And the conference pursued the enthusiastic participation from researchers and scholars across the globe. A total number of 1,352 submissions were received from various countries, including Malaysia, USA, Singapore, and so on. And of course, India, not many papers we received. And all submitted manuscripts underwent double-blinded peer review process conducted by the domain experts to ensure the high standards of originality and technical quality and research contribution. So following the detailed review process, 286 high-quality papers were selected for presentation and the publication, which will be published in the IEEE Digital Explorer and followed by the indexed by Scopus database. So we are proud to state that the conference has successfully maintained the acceptance ratio approximately 22% and reflecting the quality and competency. So the conference program, which includes the keynote addresses by distinguished researcher Dr. Surangana Gupta, the industry expert, Mr. Sandeep Patel from Intel Bangalore, and Mr. Hasimal Jahangir, who is the expertise in agentic AI. So, which is followed by technical paper presentation, online as well as offline. So these sessions will provide a platform for participants to discuss the emerging challenges, innovative solutions, and future research actions in the area of AI, sustainable technologies, and next generation computing, as well as communication systems. So on behalf of the conference committee, the technical program committee, I extend my sincere gratitude to our honorable management, beloved principal, and my dear faculties, and my esteemed the organizing the team. So for their unwavering support and commitment for this event. Thank you, one and all. Have a nice day.
Ma'am, I now invite our respected director of C Group of Institution, head of the departments, to share their perspective and guidance. A very distinguished guest on the dais, the chief guest of the student, Dr. Suranjana Gupta, research consultant of IEEE, and Mr. Sandeep Patel, lab and automation manager, whom we have invited to grace this occasion and also extend their knowledge to the young technocrats that are seated here. Respected principal of the C College of Engineering and Technology, Professor Venkat Narayan, and the conference director, Dr. Usha Desai Madam, and all our HODs, Sir Lokesh, Sukesh, and also the Vijay Guna and Anil Kumar, and all the senior faculty seated of the dais, and all the young student friends. Really gives me an immense pleasure on behalf of the management. So I wish the conference to be a success. And the management has been talking about organization of the international conferences and only just a month ago, we had organized one international conference, and that has been done by the Department of Computer Science under the leadership of Mr. Kumar. Now, Usha Desai Madam has been doing, and at least the management department would also think of organizing one international conference in the days to come, maybe I think 26, 27. And as a management, we only wish that the academic activity and also the research activity should be very dynamic and also flourishing in the campuses. And I'm really happy that a set tone have been already set by Asmal. So really, I think as management, we would be viewing the presentations of many of the tech companies as to how they have to try to put us in the market in a better and the lead way. So they were talking about the SEO. You are all aware that search engine optimization. I think our admission director, Education also would be going through many such presentations, wherein we have been looking at only the architecture that would be going into how this SEO is going to be done and how it is optimized. Now I think we are required to look to and ask them how they would be able to make it generate. So optimization and SEO shifting to GEO, I think that is where I think we also should try to land the art. And I think our faculty may be helpful in explaining what it goes. I think really the presentation has been so excellent. I think our faculty and the student management friends, I believe, were able to understand. I think we are way I used to tell eating the genetically modified foods and now leading into the generative, okay, AI. So I think we thought of only AI and now the generative AI is coming to the picture. I think you all could see the effects and all those things. I think maybe for good, I think you are required to use it. Like one example he has given. Okay, so even research papers, so you can take the help of, I think already our students are taking the help. We know and faculty sometimes maybe even not write a one line, but only okay, put it in ChatGPT and develop or generate one leave letter for me. Okay, for one this. I think students would also okay very happily submit you the assignments or any topic that you give. I think okay, at least it may be helpful and all those things that are there. But even for teachers, at least being a teacher, we have a difficulty to evaluate to what extent this okay. So chat GPT and other AI tools are being used okay to really comply the requirements that which the teachers have been asked. I think that would be a challenge. I think Asmal have been talking about these challenges in terms of the technology that is involved in this, but I believe there are real challenges to the teachers also to distinguish what is the real okay, intellect that is based on the individual and what is the other intelligence okay, that is added by virtue of all the tools that are available in the market. It may be you will distinguish, but always see. I think this title itself is very amusing. I think maybe a person from non-technical background always feel that so many like inventive computing and informatics. There are many such words, you know. Okay, I came across many such words like creative computing, and now I think quantum computing is whole word. And similarly, informatics. In fact, I was aware with the also associated with developing some bioinformatics. So all these things leading to so the a kind of a situation or technical development wherein I think you need to have some solid foundation. So I think words always are going to be very crazy, but only thing is that you must be able to distinguish how one is going to the development of the other. So in that context, I believe that all the participants, particularly student friends, will be able to okay, so understand the terminology, the philosophy, and also other aspects that are related to this pedagogy, particularly related to all these words. I think that I was in fact observing, I have given one of the so small problems to our own computer faculty, the degree college. So I was observing that this, I'm very much interested in this pattern recognition. So I was observing a car passing through me, so that which had a symbol of Mahindra. And then I struck to me that it is a reflection or resembling of the meta. Because carrying the same symbol in presentation also, you are all aware of meta. Now I have got it out and then wanted how does this pattern recognition work comparing these two logos. So because then being a from management, I have to get something in a different perspective. I thought whether there has been an infringement, okay, of the copyright or trademark with which these two organizations are associated. So we have run a program, okay, Python, and then found out that these two symbols, one is upwards of the other. If you can closely, okay, you will find that both are in terms of then like the existing okay, algorithms that are available and found out that there has been a similarity to the extent of 75.42%. Okay. So then I wrote to the company, what is this happening and whether you are right or whether they are right, but the messenger not only encrypted so that I may find the key. Okay. So legal issues later, right? Legal issues later on that they wanted to encrypt that saying that this is the message we got and others do not be see. I think you know the implication. But that way, there are many such practical applications that we can take up, but I'm mainly interested in advising all the researchers that you try to identify the problems and also provide solutions, and that application part is very, very important. What we call in our own management technology, the action research. That means, so what are the problems we take and must be useful to the society. So otherwise, there is no point in on these things, and unless that is way as okay. So, the RBG has seen that unless okay the development or any plan that you think of, unless it makes a man's mind, or unless his mind is going to appear on his face, there is no point of any of the policy changes or any of the development initiatives. That is how we look at the things, and you look at the technology and all those things. Finally, there should be okay combination, and the result should be happen that the people and the okay, society must get more and major benefit of that, and then finally, so welfare of the society is important, whatever you do. And even a small solution, as I have given you the example, may also have larger implications, and finally, that is going to be the and any kind of a sector you can imagine like agriculture. So they are all really craving for solutions that are faced by them. Okay, so as we can see, okay, so many variations there or the vagaries of the nature, they do not know, they experience a lot of all those things. Like you can study, okay, with all your knowledge that you have been compiling, and day out. In that context, this seminar is going to be very much helpful. Many practical applications are there, particularly I will always have the idea that in terms of pattern recognition, I believe that the entire nature, I believe, is symmetrical. You compare what is symmetry and what is not. That means symmetrical or asymmetrical we call. So the nature itself, and to study that, if we develop a path for that it has. And you can take it to my opinion, so all application. Okay, many skill centers are there. What is your knowledge? What kind of study you need to for that? Benchmark. Benchmark, what is the sleep, what the sleeping personality could be. And then try to compare okay, the work life and then see that what extent you can reduce and get give to further. Then our timeline, they can be really happy about that. Okay, reducing their changes are completely necessary thing. Okay, there are usually 5 days or 50 pages later, and finally they will not they want to make you know what you have to do. So there are all think random thoughts came to me. Using your technology, you come up with a precise solutions for that. I wish this conference will really add value to your knowledge, all the facts. That's thank you.
Thank you, sir. I welcome Dr. Head of the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science, Dr. Krishna Kumar, sir, Head of the Department of Computer Science, and Dr. Mohammed Yunus, Head of the Department of Mechanical Department, and also Dr. Naveen Kumar, sir, Head of the Department of Basic Science. I welcome you all to the rose as a token of love. I welcome Balkrishna, sir, on the dais. Now, I request Dr. Pavni to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Suranjana.
Morning, everyone. It's great honor to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. Suranjan Gupta. Dr. Suranjan Gupta obtained a BA Electrical and Electronics Engineering from University Visvesvaraya College of Engineering, where she was awarded gold medal in civil from Bangalore University. Her interest in electrical circuits and transmission line theory attracted her to the field of neuroscience and neurophysiological secrets. She was awarded the MHRD scholarship to pursue MTech and PhD in biomedical engineering and computational neurophysiology, respectively from IIT Bombay. She completed her postdoctoral experience at State University of New York, Downstate Health Science University, and Johns Hopkins University, and returned back to India in 2020. Following her postdoctoral tenure, she spent a brief stint at systems biology-based startup in Bangalore. Currently in IEEE EMBS EdCom member. She has been IEEE member for over 19 years. Her research areas span physiological modeling, electronics, data science, bioinformatics, quantitative pharmacology, physics-based AI. She is a freelance research consultant with one patent and over 20 research publications in international journals and conferences. She has received national and international research paper and poster award, has been recipient of University of Birmingham, India, Institute of Fellowship. She is currently developing new pulse width modulation paradigms with enhanced spectral purity for medical electronics applications in collaboration with a medtech startup. Once again, I heartily welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you for the introduction, ma'am. Now, I would like the dignitaries to release the conference president. I now request Dr. Suranjana Gupta to address the gathering. Moving ahead, let me introduce the chief guest, Mr. Sandeep Pathak. Sandeep Pathak is working as a lab automation manager at Intel Bangalore. He is responsible for enabling the silicon validation for the client side of products. He has spent about 21 plus years at Intel. Part of this long tenure, he has played multiple roles under different business groups. Sandeep is born in Karkala, Udupi. He is graduated as a computer science engineer from VTU in 2004. Before Intel, he had a short spell at Robosoft Technologies, Udupi. His interesting areas are tools, automations, frameworks, and ongoing technology trends. Sir, we kindly invite you to share your thoughts and insights with the audience.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. First of all, I think I would like to take a moment to thank the management and the faculty of here for giving me this opportunity to share my industrial experience. Means a lot. I think I'm coming to a college campus after about 5-6 years. I really enjoy coming to college campus. So I really enjoy interacting with young minds. And secondly, I think I was talking to Ian some time back. I think it's a great initiative by the colleges to have all these conferences, because I think the conferences helps in sharing ideas, coming up with innovations, and we do a lot of conferences at an industry level, a lot of developer conferences, tech talks, hackathons. The whole motivation is we want people to open up, come up with your ideas. For any organization or any company, right? I think innovation is a if you don't innovate, I think companies will perish. There are a lot of such examples that you can see in the map. I congratulate the management for taking this initiative. Yeah, moving on, right? I think I was just thinking, what do I share? I think part of this keynote. Should I talk about some of my industrial experience, the project that I worked upon? I think probably that may not really interest you. And some of the aspects are confidential in nature. I think there's no point in talking about it. Now, I think, as you know, it's an AI era. Probably, if I take up any other topic, probably I think it will not resonate with people very well. That's why I've chosen a topic called AI, evolution or revolution, whatever you call it as. I will take 10 minutes. The whole key takeaway of this talk is, again, I'm not going to go through any kind of AI tools. I think how to use them. I think it's impossible because the whole market is vast and probably Google will do a better job on that. My whole intention is, how do we stay relevant in the AI world? So on a funny note, right, I think I go to my hometown every month. For the last couple of months, whenever I go to my hometown, right, people of all generations, just imagine, right, my dad is around 70 years. People of that generation, they ask me, Sandeep, in jobs, share idea. It's a common question. And that's a kind of impact this AI had on the minds of the people. And let me be very honest. Yes, AI is going to take away some jobs for sure, but it is going to open up new opportunities, which I'm going to talk in the next couple of slides over here. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, so before I go to the crux of my presentation, right, maybe I'll spend 2 to 3 minutes on how did we arrive at the current AI era. So these are all the different phases of AI, right? I think, sorry, I'm not able to condense it. The initial concept began in 1950. Basically, we call it as a symbolic AI. Okay? People started thinking about the algorithms, if then kind of statements, basically rule based. And that era is basically called as symbolic AI. And that remained up to 1980s. I think post 1990s, I think the computer era began, and we started gaining more and more computing power. Later, we got into a phase called machine. So, as I mentioned, the computing power increased. Now, computers have more capacity to digest more data or play around with more data, big data. That's what is called as machine learning. And in this machine learning phase, I think the AI models, they started learning from the existing data, not just the static if that kind of rules. Next, we enter into a phase called statistical AI. Basically, I think we added the probability into the AI models. The AI models started predicting. So, what could be the user interest if there is a pattern? We added some of the mathematical rules, probability, and that's when we call it as statistical AI. I think this remained up to 2000 to 2010. And I've also listed a couple of use cases over there. Basically, what problem did we really solve with every phase? So post 2010, right? I think whatever we call it as a deep learning phase. So there, I think the neural networks came into picture. Basically, neural networks, the benefits of neural networks, decision got embedded into the AI models, and now our AI models started behaving very close to the human. Next, we are in the current phase, what is called as a generate. Now, AI models are able to create contents for you, create images for you based on the prompt that you give. And what is future, right? It is like agentic AI. I think AI models are going to be more and more intelligent, and they will be able to make dynamic decisions based on the available data and based on the previous user patterns. This is going to be the future. That's about the evolution of AI. Now, I just want to give a picture on what kind of opportunities this AI is going to have. So this is a graph I think some survey company had done probably last year. If you take a closer look at it, right? So this is basically the data center growth starting from 2015 up until 2030. So currently we are roughly about like $300 billion business. It's going to hit 1 trillion probably in the next 5 years. So as I mentioned, any new technology breakthrough, it is going to kill some of the traditional way of doing things, but at the same time, it is going to open up new opportunities. If you look at history, invention of wheel, it has amplified the movement. Invention of engine, it has amplified the power. And invention of computers, it has amplified the calculations and so many things. In a similar way, if you ask me, this artificial intelligence, basically the invention of this artificial intelligence is going to amplify our intelligence with respect to doing our day-to-day things. Now, coming back to my original point, if you take a closer look at this graph, so on the right-hand side, there is a pie chart that clearly talks about now growing this data center from 300 billion to 1 trillion. It doesn't happen just like that. Data center will require a lot of IT infrastructure. It requires software services, security, and whatnot. It also involves electrical system, cooling system, and real estate, and so many other things. So these are all the different opportunities that AI is bringing to the table. That's a message I just want to give as a part of this slide. And I've also listed, there are a couple of, I think, key market players probably who will tap into this business to encatch it. And just to give you a magnitude of this data center, right? See, currently the data center power consumption is roughly around 100 gigs. It is going to hit 200 gigs by the time we hit 2030. And based on the survey that I have done, currently we are attributed to roughly about 1 to 1.5% of global electricity is going to the data centers. And in the next 5 years, it is going to hit 3%. Just imagine. the global electricity, 3% of global electricity consumption is going to go for these data centers 5 years from now. Okay. I think this slide is more on the numbers. I think this clearly calls out, I think, at what pace all these data centers will grow. I think all varieties of data centers, the traditional data center, AI-specific data centers, edge data centers, and basically all these bigger data centers is what we call as hyperscalers. They are going to go sig. And most important to note, most of this data center the growth is going to happen in these countries. Asia Pacific region, India and Middle East. It's an opportunity for us, basically. Now, going back to this opportunities, right? I've just listed on few. I think this is going to go even more. As I mentioned earlier, data center requires a strong, robust software service, security service as a part of this IT infrastructure. And this is something we have to do it as a part of our job. This is an opportunity for us. And efficient and powerful processing needs. Data centers are powered with CPUs, GPUs, and network cards and whatnot, memory. So higher demand, basically, it will put a significant demand on these area of hardware components as well. Renewable energy. As I mentioned earlier, data centers are power-hungry machines. So I don't think we'll be able to sustain with our existing capacity. We really need to figure out the renewable energy. That's an area, I think, where we have to play a role. Innovation around advanced systems. Traditional way of cooling data centers, I think it's gone. I think we are using AC. I think that is not going to work anymore. There are already inventions that are happening around liquid cooling, immersion. Liquid basically more around like how we cool our engine. Immersion. Basically, you put your data center blade in an inert liquid and then try to cool it. And you would have seen in the news that there is also some discussions happening around hosting the data center in space, hosting the data center under the sea. It's happening. The main reason is cooling is a big problem in the case of a data center. We cannot really rely on our traditional cooling methodologies. This is an area, I think, which will pick up. And memory demand. As you know, the data that you have published to the cloud, let's say 20 years back, even now you can see. You can go back to your Facebook history and get it. How is this possible? Because memory. If you have looked at the memory stocks, right? I think SK Hynix or Micron, it was $90 probably a year ago. Now it is 1,000 plus, 10x growth. So out of this data center growth, the memory will also figure out a significant growth in the coming days. And as I mentioned, advanced security and fire protection systems. Data centers are like a very huge capacity systems. They really need to be equipped with very strong wall foundation and whatnot, and very strong alarm system. I mean, because it hosts all our user data, which means that the premises has to be protected very well, and many more. And the last but not the least, investment opportunity. Why do you think some of the big players are getting into the data center business now? If you have seen the news, Reliance, Adani, Airtel, L&T, many players are getting into this data center because this market is so lucrative. There's an opportunity for venture capitalists to put their funds into those companies. Okay, now the bigger piece of the puzzle, right? How do we stay relevant? Okay. I think there is always a scare that I think we are what is the road ahead for us and things like that. But if you ask me, it's the best time to be an engineer. Best time to be an engineer because AI is going to touch not just the engineering fields. It is going to touch all the fields. Maybe it's a real estate, automobile, medical, and whatnot. So basically, I think it gives us huge opportunities in terms of learning the tools and adopting it to the environment. I think where we are going to work as a part of our professional career. So again, don't be paranoid. Don't think that AI is going to replace the engineers. Yes, to some extent, it's going to replace the engineers. I'm not denying that. But most importantly, it is going to replace the engineers who are not going to adapt to the AI. That's a key. It's a very strong message. I just want to repeat it. It is going to replace the engineers who are not going to adapt. Believe me, so I'm probably in the early 40s. I'm spending good amount of time to learn some of these AI tools so that I can use it part of my day-to-day activity. It is a top-down as well, but it is a top-down across all the companies. So basically, we adapt to the situation is the message that I want to give. Okay. So leverage all the AI tools that are around your environment, right? If you're working in a civil, E&C and CSC or whatever, right? Figure out the tools. See how you can use them to meet your projects, POCs, robots, and automation tools and whatnot. And just don't stop at learning it. See how you can make a prototype out of it. And most important thing is now with the help of tools, the pace at which we can make a development, I think it has improved significantly, which means that I can fail fast. If I can fail fast, basically I can come with better methodologies. I think, say, for example, every failure teaches you something. It is something that is an approach that I should not follow. Basically, I can fail fast, I can come up with better methodologies, and I can improvise my solution. So, whole point is, I think, take advantage of all these tools and go for a faster pace of development. And I want to end this conversation with two key lines. By the way, I think these two are the people who founded Intel roughly 60 years ago. First one is Robert Mice. He's more of a venture capitalist. I think second one, I think you may be knowing as a part of the Moore's law. Moore. The first one, don't be encumbered by history. Go off and do something. What does it mean? Don't get carried away by your previous success, or don't limit yourself because of your previous failure. Forget everything else. Do something wonderful with the available set of tools and the ecosystem that you have. The second one is more relevant to the AI era. Whatever has been done can be outdone. If you have done a project development, if you have done a software in 100 man hours with the help of AI tools, probably you can do it within 10 hours. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what all I want to say is don't get panic around. Every new technological breakthrough will open up new opportunities. Just that we need to have that mindset of adaptability. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request Dr. Suranjana Gupta to address the gathering. So while the presentation is set up, I just want to thank the organizers for this opportunity. I'm very happy to be here, and it's great to listen to all the talks so far, and excited to know what's going to happen as the day unfolds. So the topic of this conference is on computation and informatics. Now, although this is not exactly the purview of the conference, I will talk a little about how important this is in the field of healthcare, because that's where I come from. So very quickly, effective informatics is basically that we no longer need the data to be, we are not passive about the data that we have. We don't need to know what the data can offer. Right now, the thing is more active. What Dr. Rao also said, that you go out there and you see how the data can be used for global or for society. That change of attitude in terms of in the healthcare domain has found applications in accelerating drug delivery, has found applications in positive patient outcomes, into decision making, precision medicine. In fact, just last week, Allen Brain Institute announced to the world a new research initiative called the Brain Health Accelerator, where they are working on targeting neurodegenerative diseases such as Huntington's, ALS, Parkinson. They are using this inventive computing, bioinformatics, and AI to integrate information from molecular all the way to systems level in order to understand disease pathology, disease mechanism, and thereby open up prospective therapeutic pathways. So this is like Mr. Pathak said, a very exciting time to be an engineer. Lot of work going on. There's a lot of excitement as we usher different facets of AI. But in all of this excitement, there is an internal concern, or fear, or some apprehension regarding how relevant we may be while AI rises. So a form of existential crisis. Now, just for a brief thing, do any of you kind of feel that while you're excited doing this kind of work, you feel that in the near future, you may not be as relevant as you are right now? With a show of hands. Oh, okay. So maybe this talk may not be applicable to you, but if you are not raising your hands, and that's different. So let's look at scenario one. Imagine you are the star performer of your company, sought after by your bosses, admired by your peers, juniors, respected, and now there's a new hire that comes in. New hire brings in value addition to the company that now starts threatening your position in the company. What will your reaction be? Will you start looking elsewhere because you know that you won't be able to grow here? Or will you try to improve yourself so that you can make yourself indispensable? Scenario two. Scenario two. Imagine you have to now work with this new hire. You are leading the project, and you know this new hire is absolutely unbeatable in certain areas of the project that you need help with. Will you seek that person's help out, or will you do it independently? Or will you work with that person and delegate those pieces of work to that person and work on the rest with you and with yourself and the team? That's scenario two. So in the current context of where we are, this new hire is the AI. And whether you decide to buckle under the stress of its existence or tame it to boost your productivity is completely on you, on your approach and on your temperament, your mentality. So let's revisit the scenario two, where AI is something that is what you're using to work on a project. Like Pathak sir said, that you can harness the tools, you can harness the power, that things available that AI is providing to you that you can use to improve your productivity. There's a very famous quote by Thomas Edison, which is, genius is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration. Use AI for your 99% perspiration to augment or enhance your 99% perspiration. And how do you understand how well you have collaborated with AI, or how well you have been using these tools? You use platforms like this, conferences like this, where you can actively engage in, discuss, get feedback, look at how other people have used the same tools. Have they used it better? Have they used it? You can network. And so when you come out of the conference, you come out with more insight and more ideas about how a certain problem can be tackled. Now we look at scenario one, which is a little bit tricky. In the current scenario, in the way AI is right, there is a question that can we be replaced? And very simply, it has been answered that yes, we can. If we stagnate if we don't adapt. But the beauty of natural intelligence is that when unleashed to its complete and absolute potential, will always be ahead of artificial intelligence. And that is because That is purely because we have the ability to ask questions and answer them, whereas AI only has the ability to answer questions. True research, true R&D is about problem solving. It's about asking the right questions. It is not necessarily about problem solving. It is more important about problem finding, about asking the right questions. And that is where we come in. For instance, next. For instance, AI can talk about apples falling, but it will need an individual to look at it and ask the question, why did the apple fall? We can have, so for instance, these are currents which, okay, the thing is kind of hidden, but these are currents that come from the same protein structure. And when you look at these currents or when you get them from papers that you've searched from AI, there is no question asked about why is the same entity producing different profiles of currents. That question has to come from you. And therefore, when we look at these aspects, and when we look at this with that kind of a light, you are no longer now just trying to follow something. You are now asking questions because that you are best at. And that is what you have, as species, evolved to do. You need to then think that can anybody let us feel intimidated by the rise of AI? Or should you allow yourself to be intimidated by the rise of AI? Remember that we are working with an organ which is absolutely limitless and infinite in its capabilities. It works with 20 watts of power and free electricity, and there is free access, no issue of tokenization or site being down or things like that. Now, with a resource like that at your disposal, any time of the day, any millisecond of the day, one should not ever have a doubt of not being relevant in any situation. Natural intelligence, like fingerprint, iris print, is each individual's intellectual DNA. It is like an individual's fingerprint. Now, every person has a unique way of solving a problem. And that typically stems from how you have learned, during a student phase or during a schooling phase, college phase. There are different, learning cycles. One of them I've shown in the cartoon called Kolb's experiential learning cycle. Typically, you have So typically, if you have aggressively exploited different learning cycles while you were a student, you will be more uncomfortable looking at a research. If you've been cautious about cycles, choosing for you will be conservative when you look at it. So in this field of pricing AI, how do you develop a research department? Everything is available to you at a click of a button. How do you set yourself apart from what AI has to offer or what everyone is demanding of AI? How do you make yourself relevant? Very simple. You don't let AI set your creative boundaries. As researchers, fresh researchers, experienced researchers, when you look at a problem, think of a problem that you want to solve. Don't ask AI how to solve. Don't first list out all the kinds of ways that you can think of to solve that problem. No matter how unrealistic, no matter how crazy, just list them all out. After you do that, now you ask AI. Which have been already done. Those if your entire list is kind of all scored out because everything has been done, it means you're not thinking it hard enough. Because typically, if you actually just go completely to harness your absolute potential, you will be able to find some 2 or 3, such ideas that no one ever thought of. And that what will set yourself apart. That is new research ideologies. Long before AI came into existence, philosopher J. Krishnamurti had a full measure of AI. It is not, the importance is not of the person who has all the answers, but of the person who has the last question. And that is something you need to remember while you or look at every as you embark your journey as a researcher. With that, I'd like to congratulate all the participants and the presenters, and you have a successful and productive conference ahead. Thank you.
Hello. Network கிடைக்கிற இடத்துல வந்து பேசுறா.
Now comes a moment of pride as we honor our guests for their invaluable presence and contributions. We now welcome all the dignitaries on the dais, honoring the guests.
பஸ்ல. ஹலோ.
Conclusion of the inaugural session, I request Dr. Niju sir to deliver the.
Good morning. Myself, Dr. Nijiguda, branch counselor, IEEE student chapter. Okay, this is my honor and privilege to give the vote of thanks on this occasion of 4th International Conference on Inventive Computing and Informatics. On behalf of our institutions, SA Group of Institutions and SA College of Engineering Technology, I express my sincere gratitude our today's chief guest, Mr. Sandeep Pathak. Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion and sharing valuable insights. Truly, you are inspired your valuable speech, especially our conference audience can be useful. Thank you for gracing this occasion. Thank you, sir. And also today's chief guest, Dr. Sujana Gupta, gracing on this occasion. Thank you, madam, gracing this occasion, and also your valuable insight, knowledge for this useful for our conference audience. Thank you, madam. And also I express sincere thanks to our management, chairman, secretary sir, CEO madam, treasurer, vice president, trustees member, principal, deans, R&D, especially because this event, especially with backbone of this event is Dr. Usha Desai madam, R&D dean of these institutions, and also HODs for visionary leadership and constant support. This institution makes center of excellence. Thank you all. And also, I express my sincere gratitude to our faculty members, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, and also not least, our audience of this conference. In-house C as well as across India, across the global. And also, special thanks to the organizing team today, IEEE student chapter. I mentioned some names, Rakshit and Manikant. I'll not speak all the names. A special thanks to the Rakshit and Manikant team. This event most successful. Thank you, one and all present here. This event, this conference should be useful for your knowledge sharing, networking with different professionals, as well as different collaborations, and also useful for the skill development, and also it is useful for your innovative ideas with different issues with problem solution. Thank you, Ananda. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. In the absence of management, I would like to thank the management for organizing the conference. Now, I want everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जगति तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. We will now proceed with the technical sessions after a short tea break. Participants are requested to be seated on time.